or something weird. All right, you should be able to see it now. So this is gold, and there's a couple things I'm going to show you guys. So, well, one, well, actually, yeah, just look at where gold is right now. Look at gold, um, off of, this is the chart that I was talking about last week of gold going to before. This is the sell zone. Straight through here is the sell zone for gold. Real quick off that hourly time frame. That's it. Now I want to go, and I'm already in on this trade. I literally have not looked. I literally looked at the markets 30 minutes ago whenever I got to the house. I've been running around because it's only 1 o'clock out here, so the time difference is, a lot different. But I wake up at like 6 in the morning out here because it's such like a, it's just like it's just, why not at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't know. I have something stuck in my computer. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what in God's green planet this is. Okay, I got that. I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, so I had put these in last week. It's nice to see they triggered at exactly 1796. But before I talk about this, I want to go in and I want to talk about NZDJPY from last week. I know some of you guys got in that. It actually missed my sell limit of the trade that I had. There's really no different what gold has. Pretty much the same setup. I know a lot of you guys sold that. It missed my order like literally barely. It went to like 79.36. My order was at 79.50, and then would have went right to my take profit. That's NZDJPY. And those of you guys who may still be in the trade and holding the trade, I wanted to talk about paying attention to this support right here. This was pretty much my thing that I wanted you guys to look at, of a buying zone off of the three touch rule, because it's three touch rule too. Three touch rule 1, 2, and 3, and then a zone right there. If price came directly down today, right now, this would be that zone right at this level right here, 77,800. So just keeping in mind this level right here, keeping in mind this point right off of this zone right here, very important to watch. And also a very important buying zone. If you did not sell it up here, this is a great buying zone, super easy to see, super easy to get a stop loss in place. This is cash all day. You could do a 30 pip stop loss easily just off of that zone right there. You can see your 3 to 1 is going to go to about right there. And then you're looking at this zone right here for the next touch. Then you're looking at this zone right here for the next touch. Then, of course, you're coming right there, 3 touch rule to infinity. So wanted to outline that right now. And then and I know some of you guys sold it, instant executed it. And this should have been a 3 to 1 trade if you did exactly a 30 pip stop loss. You could have did a 20 pip stop loss or a 25 pip stop loss. Any of those are easily acceptable off that level. I just wanted to outline that to everybody, so everybody could see that and understand that right there. Next thing was Euro JPY. This nice little fella like to come back up again. If anybody got into that, these are the kind of things we want, and that you guys can't get afraid of when they come back, and when they do this, because you get rewarded for not being afraid. If you remember last week, I talked about this being the hourly buying zone, and I said a cross under there is perfect, and that we're basing our trades off of this daily resistance all the way through there. The market structure is based all the way through this zone right here, all the way through. And if you look at This, for instance, notice how we had the drop down, we had the pull back, it dropped back down, it popped all the way, it dropped down, it shot up, then it shot up even higher. But if you look and you don't get fooled by it, what you see is sellers are all through there, sellers are through here, sellers are through here, it comes back up, boom, that's what you want. So same thing happens, price comes back up there if you're paying attention to it. Because the thing is, what you guys got to capitalize on whenever we're trading and we're looking at specific things is you have to capitalize on the moments when price reaches your buying and your selling zones, and you have to execute whenever price gets there. That's all you're looking for. This is an M top right here. You have to think, when you're trading a strategy, when you're looking at trading in the market, you're looking to trade, and I talked about this, I think, last Tuesday, where I talked about you look for trading a specific strategy. And what I mean by that is like if you're trading the three touch rule or you're trading support and resistance and consolidation, then what you got to do is you got to stick to trading that, because it doesn't work 100% of the time. No strategy works 100% of the time. So on the times that, say you're a 50-50 chance of every single strategy going your way, well, what does that mean for you and making money? That means that you're going to be right 50% of the time, or the strategy is going to be right 50% of the time. But what are the numbers that are going to now play in your favor? Now it's a numbers game. So if you know that your strategy is going to win 50% of the time, okay, so that means that 10 out of 10 times, I got to take the trade. 10 out of 10 times, I got to take the trade. So when the market, when it gets to, and you look at this is all it is a consolidation strategy. So when you look at this and you see like, okay, there's one touch over here, that's two, there goes three right there. And you look at this, that's three, that's four, that becomes five. Now, this one didn't all the way hit that zone, but had it went all the way up there, you can't be afraid of price hitting that, because then that's six. Because we had, this was four, this is one, two, this was three, four, and this was going to be five, and that was going to be six if it did. So every single time price got to here, you got paid your 3-to-1 every time. Every time, because if you look at this and you see this, that went all the way down 4.2-to-1 off that low. That went 4.2-to-1. So every time price got right there, you would have got paid 3-to-1 minimally. So when you're doing it, you have to understand that it's about being connected to the market. That's why I talk about all the time, is about that connection, because the numbers game is going to roll out. The numbers game is what's going to pay you. So if you know that you're going to win 50% of the time, then what you're doing is, when this happens, because the strategy that I'm showing you, like with the three touch rule, it's like a 60% win ratio. That's what it is. It's like 60 some percent. But on the 3-to-1 aspect, it's like 40 some percent. So that means that out of the 10 times, 2 of those times is usually going to stop you out of break even. Then the 4 other times you're going to make 3-to-1. So that means that you're going to make 100%, 120% ROI. You're going to lose 40%, so you make 80 essentially every 10 trades if you're trading 10%, or you just say you make 8-to-1. 8-to-1 odds. That's your odds. That's your 8-to-1. You're making that amount, right? So if you look at it this way, and I'm just trying to break this down as far as the numbers go. You lose 4, you make 8. Now, if you lose 4, that's 4% of your account, you make 8. If you double it and you do it that way, then what is it? 16, right? To 8. So you're always doubling every 10 trades. That's what should start happening to your account. A lot of you guys who are having smaller trading balances and smaller trading accounts, you guys should start seeing that as long as you take every trade, as long as you're actually doing it, you should actually see your account consistently making you money over time and doing it. But if you're not taking every trade, guys, it's not going to happen. Those things won't happen. So when I look at the setup, when I showed you everything and I pointed that out and I said like, hey, these are great times to sell. Remember, I'm not going to baby you every time and giving you trades all the time, because that's not what I want you guys to do. That's not where I want you guys to be. when we're doing this process, when we're going through these things. I want it to be like, okay, I trust myself enough to take the trade. He's outlining it for me. All the setup is there. I trust myself, right? Because that's the key. Some of you guys might like my fib strategy. It doesn't mean that you're going to trade the fib strategy, though, and mix it with 45 other things. What I mean by that is, if you like the fib strategy, trade the specific fib strategy. If you like an indicator strategy, trade the specific indicator strategy. But here's the thing. Now that you know multiple different reversal strategies, it's only when the strategies mesh together is it make it a more highly likely chance that the market goes your way. It doesn't mean you're like, okay, these 10 trades I'm going to trade the fib. Okay, these 10 trades I'm going to trade this. Or I'm going to trade this one because the 61.8 lines up with it, or the 38.2 or the 50. And then I'm going to trade this one because this setup lines up. And I'm going to do it this way. No, because if all trading strategy have a 50% win ratio, then you have a 50-50 chance of losing to winning. But what are the number ratios on your side to if it's a 3-to-1 trade? Like, you got to look at the aspect. You can't just look at it one-sided. And that's why, like, what I'm telling you guys about the Elite Zone, why you pay for it, is for knowledge like this and things like this. I'm going to be putting more information in the academy, but the Elite Zone is the Elite Zone for a reason, because we do in-depth analysis, we do in-depth trading. You guys get the ability to easily unmute yourself and talk to me, because as I grow, it's not going to just be as easy to just be like, oh, let me call JDR, oh, let me get on the phone. It's just not going to be as easy, because there's going to be over 100 people that are going to be trying to do that. Plus, I'm going to have people in the academy doing the same exact thing and trying to reach out. And I'm not just going to shun everybody at the end of the day. I'm going to try to make myself as accessible as possible. But that's why you guys have to take advantage now. You got to put in the time now, because now is the right time. Now is the time for you to be able to take advantage and take yourself to the next level. So I wanted to point that out. I wanted to share that information about Euro JPY and just, and NZD JPY, because it's there. It's something that was a now thing, and it happened, and I said it could happen, because I never know when anything's going to happen, and none of us do. It's just like we see it. What happens, happens. What doesn't happen, happens. It is what it is. But now I'm going to pull us over to gold, right? And I want us to look at this. I want us to look at this setup, because there's a couple things about gold that I want you guys to see and pay attention to. This setup here, right? And this was basically, as you see, this is where buyers really started heavy. How do we know? One, this happened here, but we started a trend right here, okay? So let's look at this. This is a trend. This is an uptrend off of the buyers right here, if you look at this. That's it right there. That's the line. That's the move. That's the uptrend off that. If you're trading fibs, let me show you what I mean by this. If you're trading with fib retracement and you're trying to marry it with 3-touch rule, this means this. See this line right here? See this 127 line? This zone right here, sellers, sellers. This is supposed to be a sign. See how that marries with price right there? See how we have buyers, 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 and we have an underhook of the buyers right there? That's where, like, if you're a fib trader and you're trading fib strategy, this 127 is supposed to play support if it goes above it. It plays resistance if under. Do you see how this line crosses with that line crosses and that line crosses? That's that battle right there. That's your sell. If line crosses under, that's your sell. You're going to place your stop loss somewhere up there in the zone. Now look, do you see how the 127 is up here? Do you see how the 127 marries perfectly with this buy zone, buy zone, buy zone, switch to a selling zone, could be a selling zone again? That's my sell, right? That's my even greater sell, because I know the 127.8 is up there. And if I know about ABCD pattern, and I understand about that because that's another pattern that I had in there, the completion of that is right here. So the completion of that pattern right there, that's the completion of that pattern. We could have even more sellers hit right there. That's an ABCD pattern. All these things I'm putting in the new academy. You're going to have access to all this stuff. But I'm just putting it out there right now quickly. But because this is what I'm saying, there's so many different strategies and patterns and indicators and things that you can use that people have millions and billions of dollars in that they're trading. That's why it's relevant in the market. That's why at any given time, the market can change. The market can change at any given time. So that's why you have to be on your toes and understand that the more confirmations there are with your strategy that you know, the better. But it doesn't mean that you're like, oh, this strategy doesn't work. No, it works. It's just you're not working the system properly. That's the only difference. So when I look at this, I know for a fact I have a resistance right off here. So we might not ever get to this point right here, but what happens if we do get to the point? All we got to do is align it. We just outline it. We just know what it means. We just know what it is. We know that this is a selling zone, potential selling zone, if it ever gets there, right? That's all this is. If it ever gets there, that's all that is right there. May never get there. Don't need that line there. We're good. We know what it means. That's the completion of the ABCD pattern. But what's the now? What are the now things? I'm going to delete this. It doesn't matter. We know what that zone is right there. What is the now? Let's look back at this. So off of price currently of what's going on, this is the weekly close of the resistance. Look at this. And I told you guys this last week that this could happen. I said I hoped that gold did one more pass to the upside. That if it did do one more pass to the upside, it would be great, because this is the strongest point of sellers off the weekly right here. We're here. And then let's pull it back. Let's not forget strongest point of buyers, strongest point of buyers. We've now hooked underneath that zone. We're there. Gold's there at that level. This could be a huge payout, guys. Huge payout right here. You guys know how gold moves. It's my favorite pair to trade. I make the most money off of gold. Literally make the most money off of gold. You see this right here? This is that zone right there. It's at that level. We see it at that point. This is the weekly zone. Look at this. Sellers heavy, sellers heavy, sellers heavy. We're back there again. I take it off. Look at the difference. It's just a bunch of wick candlesticks there. And then we get the drop. We're early in the week. We're early in the week. We got 4 days left in the week. Let's see what happens at this zone right here. But this is the best trade right now in the market. Hottest trade. If we get this right, and those of you guys who may have sold it, this would be an M top actually. It looks a little different, but this would be an M top. This would be your M top here. We will go here. And this would be your M top right there. We will get price to come back down there if that's the true M top. I sold it $17.96. That would be a $17.96. That would be a 400 pip trade to the downside. Cashing on that. Now, those of you guys who've seen that, you're going to cash out on that too. If it pops back up to the high, do not be afraid. Take the sell. Put your stop loss in play. My stop loss is at like 1800 and 1880, 1803. So 40 and a 70 pip stop loss. And you look at the zone, and you can see this is it right here. It will be no different, guys, than this double bottom right here. Okay, no different than that double bottom right there. I understand double bottoms, M tops, huge trades. I mean, look at this. 1680 all the way to 1790. It went all the way to basically 1800, but that's 1,200 pip trade. It's almost the same thing. It's not the same amount of time. That was March the 9th to March the 31st. This was April the 22nd to May the 3rd. It's only a couple of weeks about. But this is a huge trade. I mean, we have 3 touch off the top right there. looked like it wanted to break out. It didn't. I mean, I sold that thing from 1796 to 1794, I think 1794 to 1796. And this is the zone right here that we're watching. This thing could be huge. And I don't want you guys to be afraid of it at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's me pointing these things out for you guys not to be afraid of it. You got to take that leap of faith. You got to take that next step and say, okay, I'm going to come here and I'm going to take action. And I'm not going to waste my own time talking about yourself, and take yourself to the next level. But this is the setup right here. I mean, you look at this right here off this zone. If it goes up and goes past, then that's fine. But you think probabilities, guys. Those of you who took, and this is why I'm saying this, Euro JPY, NZD JPY, you got paid out 3-to-1 on both of those. And if not, you got paid out 2-to-1. You're 4-to-1 up. You take the same trade off gold. If you lose on gold, you're still 3-to-1 to 5-to-1 positive off your odds. That's all it is. See what you guys got to, you got to break through that threshold of, oh, I'm not going to take this trade this time. You never know the trade that's going to go your way. So like when I look at this whole setup, when I look at this whole thing, I'm looking like, okay, cool. It's 3-touch rule, boom, off the 4-hour. I like the setup. It's already broken under the daily and the 4-hour buyers. Oh, okay, trend break retest. Okay, it's right at that retest zone. Trend break retest, okay, if we get that right, what's the probability of getting this right? We can come all the way down to here to this buying zone, which is going to be a 400 or a 300 to a 400 pip trade to the downside. Makes no sense not to take it, especially when you do a 40 pip stop loss. That's a 10-to-1 trade off those odds. That's all you guys have to do. Just get better at doing that. That's why when you get on every single webinar, you're only going to get better. I'm not getting worse as a teacher. I'm only getting better. You're only getting better as a student. You're only getting better as a trader. You're only getting better every single time. It's repetition, 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 repetition. Because eventually there's going to be that day where you're like, you know what? I'm tired of holding myself back. Let me take myself to the next level. And guess what? You do it. Boom. Easy. It's that simple. And that's all it is. It's just about the consistency, guys. This is the trade of the week right here. If it does do a breakout trade, I mean, it definitely could do a breakout trade as well. You guys know how gold moves. It would be doing a breakout off of this zone, weekly zone right here. I can see that also happening because I do like to trade the breakouts as well. But looking as far as, a breakout could potentially go, it's kind of a little tougher for me to say, like, to put it here because I know of all of the other traders that are in. So I might, scoop it lower at like 1802. But this, so far, I'm 100% in on the sell-off right here at 1796. I didn't even see this until, like I said, an hour ago. Was paying no attention to it at all. This thing's building up price. I love it. I love the little buildup of price. We could get another pop-up to the upside. And if it does, I don't want you guys to think that it's wrong to sell it. That's the thing. It's like you guys got to break through this mental aspect. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it this? Is it that? Right? And some of you guys don't ask enough questions. And some of you guys don't ask the right questions. You don't have to always ask questions on the webinar, but ask questions, text me. I know some of you guys text me more. Get on a call with me. I'll get on a call with you. It's not even a problem. But at the end of the day, I want to see everybody succeed. I want to see everybody take themselves to the next level in here. That's what I want to see. I want you guys to be able to travel at any given time and get anything that you want at any given time. That is what we have the ability to do, and that's what is possible, but we don't want to become the person that can get those things, right? And so that's why I say that. I want you guys to be able to take yourself to that level, take yourself to that point at the end of the day. That's what I want. So that's pretty much all that I had. Those are the setups that I really liked. those are everything that, seem to be the best to me, that I think are going to be the most profitable. Was Euro JPY, NZD JPY last week. Those were the trades. But now gold is definitely the move right now. So yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything like that, now is the time to ask, because that was pretty much all I had. If anybody has some other trades that might be good, let me know. Right now, I think we're pretty set. Gold is the one. I don't know. Did anybody else get in gold? I mean, yes, no, maybe, possibly. Paying attention to it.
Gold last week, you and I think it was Monday, and I had put my sell limit in at 17.99, and I'm seeing now how many times it came within just a hair of activating my price, but never actually activated. So that's kind of disappointing. But what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna, Nick. I'm gonna tell you something. Don't put your. I know you want to like get like the most epic trade ever, but 17.99. If you look at the current price, I'll make this about as perfect as we can get it. That is about the tip of where sellers engage at, right here and right here. The bulk of your traders get involved between this wick here to that wick right there. So you have a zone from 1795 to 1798 that's prime time for a sell. So don't set your limit outside of the trade, because it's not about like what could happen, it's like what is happening. So what is happening is there's a 50 pip sell zone between 1795, or a 30 pip sell zone to 1798. So that's your zone that you really want to focus on right there. Not 1799. You said 1799, right? I heard that right.
Yes, that's right. Yep,
Yeah.
99.
So do you see what I'm saying about the zone? Does that make sense? Like, you don't want to put it, so your trade is right here. If you look on this exact line, there's nothing in that zone that has a trader at that level. Your traders are no further than right there and right there. It's not about being perfect on the trade. It's about actually trading where other traders are located at, and then trusting that the market is going to go your way. It's not about getting in at a higher level or getting in at a lower level and like a thought, like thinking like, oh, maybe this could happen. Right? Give you an example. If you're trading off of this support here, this is your support, and right here is your support. This is your support zone right here. So that's your support zone. So if you're like, okay, buyer's going to engage there, I can see my buyer's going to engage there, my buyer's going to engage there. So anywhere from right here to right here is your trade, okay? But it's about doing a little more research. So if this is your buying zone here, this is your buying zone here, then anywhere all the way through to right there is a valid buying zone. Like right here, this is all a valid buying zone. This wick right here, if you're like, man, I wanted to do my buy right here at the zone, but I got stopped out here. All it is a lack of not paying attention to your diagonal buyers or your diagonal sellers when you're doing it. So then you say, okay, buyers are there, buyers are there, buyers are there, buyers are here. So like if you do it pretty much about to the T, to like getting all the zones and touching it, all your P's and crossing all your P's and Q's, whatever you say, boom, 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 boom. Then you're like, okay, this is my buying zone, this is my buying zone. Only two places I'm going to take the trade. Either you make a decision and say, okay, I'm going to buy it here, I'm going to put my stop loss out here. That's your choice. Say I'm going to buy it there, I'm going to put my stop loss out there. Or I'm going to buy it right there and I'm going to put my stop loss right here. I'm going to buy it right there and put my stop right there. And you say, okay, what's the stop loss I need to put for this one here? You're going to say, okay, this one there. You're going to say, okay, that one there. You're going to say, okay, that one there. You're going to say, okay, that one there. Okay, cool. So basically a 50 pip stop loss is going to work at that level. Try to get it about 50. Then that's your next buy. That's how you do that. If you're trading support and resistance, if you're trading 3-touch rule, you make a conscious decision that I'm either going to take the buy off of this zone or this zone. So it's not about winning and losing. It's about probabilities and letting the market actually take the trades for me. And I got to just do my research. And the more research I do, the more time I put in, the more money I'm going to make. I have no reason not to make money. It's just like if you're going to take a trade off, say, this line right here, that's your sell zone, that's your sell zone, that's your sell zone, that's your sell zone. Then it's no different from this. It's the flip of this. That's your sell zone horizontally, that's your sell zone horizontally, that's your sell zone horizontally. Guess what your sell zone horizontally? Right there. So it's not about like, oh, I was wrong about this. No, it's like all you're doing is, okay, that's my zone right there. Let me put my proper stop loss into place. Let me pull it right here. Okay, that's my sell zone right there, 30 pip stop loss. Okay, cool, I'm coming right there. That's my sell zone, 30 pip stop loss works. Okay, guess what? Right there's your sell zone. You get rewarded 30 pips. Boom. That thing goes all the way down 9-1 if you did the 30 pip stop loss. So you get rewarded 3-1. You exit. Cool. Numbers game. Same thing right here. I take my trade. You lose. You lose a 3-1. Perfect. Lost a 3-1. Guess what? I'm still 2-1 up. Now guess what? You're coming right back up to this same level, to that same point, and you're saying, oh, okay, cool, 30 pip stop loss works there, it works there, it works there. Guess what? 30 pip stop loss works right here. Now you're chilling 1.1, 1.1 plus. And if you get it right, boom, there's 3-1. If you get this right and it goes in your direction, guess what? 3-1. Now you're up 5-1. Do you see how I broke those different sell places and buy places down based off of support and resistance, based off of what the market told me? You see how I did that, how easy that was?
Yeah, and just recently too, we've had multiple decent opportunities. Like you said, you had gotten in for a sell at what, 96?
Yeah, 99. I did a sell at 94, 96.
Yeah, see, right there, if I had just had my limit be a little bit lower, it would have activated, but I ended up missing out on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's just a part of like training your eyes more. Remember, that's what visual prowess is all about. It's about training your eyes to be 4x weapons. Like, all I'm doing is just showing you guys how to train your eyes, train your eyes, train your eyes, train your eyes. Like, just getting better at seeing market reversal, better at seeing market reversal. And then it's just about execution from that point on. That's all it is. It's just doing it. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question.
What's good?
Can you go over, I know you've gone over this before, but can you go over again, like a breakout trade where you would place your entry and your stop loss? Things to look for.
Yeah. So on the breakouts, like for instance, say I'm not even paying any attention to that resistance right there. I don't pay any attention to that right there. The market is now sitting and trading inside of this zone right here. That line doesn't exist. This line doesn't exist. This line right here doesn't exist, but I'm not going to delete it because it's a really good weekly line. This line doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is this box right here and this box right here. Breakout trades. All you're doing is in these two boxes I have highlighted. All you're doing is you are placing a sell stop. Probably, let's look at this. And I don't care about this wick, and I would have gotten, that would have been a loss for me. But this is how it works. I would say about right here, 1760 would have worked. Stop loss is going to go about right there, probably about right here inside of the zone. You want to put it just deep enough on the inside that, like, if it goes up there on the inside part, price doesn't whip back in and hit it. So, but if it does, you're expecting price to, like, go the opposite way. And then the breakout, all you're trading is you're basically trading that move right there. And on the flip side of it, when you look at this flip side, you're not there. Like I said, I tell you guys this all the time. There's so many different reversal strategies. It's insane. Like, I'm gonna put up 3 really good ones that I like, but there's gonna be multiple trades you can do. The one that I'm gonna do whenever I get all this stuff done later this month, because I'm gonna have all the videos done when I come back to the mainland. I'm going hard for a week and getting this stuff done. So it'll be done in a couple of weeks, and all of you guys are going to do testimonials. Please, please, please have those in by the 16th. But then you looking at this side of things, and I'd put the stop loss about right there. I would put the, let's see, I try to put it on gold. Let's see, 98. 30 pips to 40 pips on gold is going to be about good enough to put your buy stop or sell stop out. My stop loss is all the way on the inside of this zone right here. This is really good of a stop loss. Then all you're doing is you're wanting all that breakout right there. But also, this is also a breakout of this weekly sell zone right here. So that would be a combination of 2 different things. It would basically be like this would be a breakout trade. Price came all the way back in. Traders like to sell more. It is what it is. But you're also doing a breakout of this whole resistance right here too. So if that works, you're doing a breakout from all the way through there. Give you another good example of another trade of breakout is going to be Euro JPY, because Euro JPY has been sitting in a diagonal ascending zone for a while. So when we're doing the breakout, if you're doing it from an ascending side, you're going to put your stop loss you're going to put your trade about right there. Off of that first little level right there, you're going to put it, because what we're trading is, if you look at the dotted line, is that resistance right there. And stop loss goes on the inside like that. You want that breakout right there. You pull it up to this point right here, you're going to pull it a little further down, not that high. Could probably put it about right there above that wick right there, because that's 814, and that is 130.1, so that's about 30 pips. That's really good, and you're trading that whole breakout. Same thing on current market price. You're pulling it right there. I'm not going to pull it that high. That's too high. And you're coming about right there, and you're trading that breakout. And if we zoom it in a little bit more and we look at this a little bit more, stop loss really doesn't need to be that big off this. I would say about right there. And I'm not even looking at the pip amount. I'm looking at the distance of if it hits, and I put it about right there. I'm looking at the distance of, like, if it hits, we're wanting for price to break out. Kind of like, oh, this is even better. Kind of like when we were trading Euro JPY, and it was in this awesome zone right here, and it was right through here in this awesome zone, and we were looking for that breakout to happen. It would be like if we put the buy stop right there. Let's see, 700. Yeah, that was plenty of distance. It tapped it right there. Price came all the way back down. But then, if you look, and you do it again, and you put it right above that wick again, you put it about right there, the same distance, and you look, that breakout, this plenty of distance. You wouldn't even need to have that much of a distance, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at this move right here. I'm looking at that wick. This one's a little harder to gauge, but I'm showing you this because if you do the same strategy, because That was a breakout. It came right back into price. It built up more momentum. It still has not broken out. It's back in the sell zone, back in the buy zone. Then it finally breaks out right there. Okay, that's an 8-to-1 move. Obviously, we're not going that far. But if you look, would a 25 pip or a 30 pip stop loss exceed a 3-to-1? Yes. All we needed to do is to go right there. That's it. So the same thing happens. If you lose on that trade, that's fine. You do it again because you're looking for the breakout. You make it up right there. These examples happen literally everywhere in the market. Like literally everywhere these examples happen. So just looking at that example there, and showing you gold and showing you some of the different ones, it's everywhere. And if you're trading a breakout off of this zone right here, on the flip side of it, it's kind of like gold, except for it's the flip side of it. Buyers are all through here, so you're sell stopping it right about there. You're placing your stop loss right about here because you're putting it just enough inside of that zone, and you're wanting the 3-to-1 move. And just off of that little example right there, that's the 3-to-1 move right there. But it's the breakout to not only this little box right here, but it's the breakout of this daily and 4-hour and weekly buy zone. So you're going to get a breakout to here, most likely to there because that's the new move. Then to trade that breakout, you're sell stopping it there. Your stop loss is going about right there, just right inside of that zone. Because because price normally comes back and retests the breakout zone, but the retest of the breakout would be right here. Your stop loss is going to be right there, and then there goes your breakout right there. So that's 2 back-to-back breakouts for sells you could do. Same thing on buys. You do this breakout here, you pull it up again, and you do that breakout right there. And that's your buy breakout up there. That's probably a little too high. Probably put it about right there. And that's about, it's probably a little too low. Trying to get it about right. It's probably good right there. Yeah, that's good about right there. But does that make sense, Tasha?
Yeah, thank you.
You're good?
Yeah, that was helpful. Thank you.
Lit. Wait, what'd you say?
I said, yes, that was good. Thank you.
Oh, okay. My computer's trash. I'm getting a new one when I come back. Sometimes it's hard to hear. Devin, you got something for me? You unmuted, so I don't know. I guess Devin doesn't have nothing for me. Anybody else have anything?
Are you watching the crypto space at all? There's some amazing moves happening with Ether and Doge.
You said crypto what?
With the cryptocurrencies, you've got some pretty amazing moves happening with Ether and Doge right now.
Really? Nah, I'm not. I actually have not seen a single thing. I got these trades in or whatever, and I really honestly try not to look at them. I just try my best not to pay any attention to them because off of when I say that, I just mean like emotional. If I have like certain things that I pay attention to, but it's only like if there's like a crazy spike in the market is what I pay attention to. I'm trying to make sure I got these lines right. But no, I'm not. What's going on with? I mean, Ether's always been a really big project, so I know that thing has a lot of momentum. I got an Ether at like $350, and I think I have 3 or 4 Ether, and I bought that back in 2017 or 16. But I haven't touched that thing. Ripple, I haven't touched. I bought more of it when it went to 20 cents. And then Doge, what's the news on that? What is that? What's the news on that? I know that thing was supposed to be a meme for a while.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. With Ether, what's cool is in the past, Ether used to follow Bitcoin's general path almost to a T. But now what's happening is Ether is making its own all-time highs, despite the fact that Bitcoin's kind of stalled out a little bit, and that's really amazing for Ether. As
Mm,
far as Doge goes, when you talk about amazing spikes in the market, Doge is one of them because Doge, despite the fact that people might call it a joke, it's become so popular and so mainstream that I think it now needs to be considered a legit cryptocurrency. And
mm,
if you look at the prices happening right now, they're outrageous.
mm, hmm. How do you spell this thing? Hmm. Hmm.
I'm not sure if you can even find Doge. Oh, okay, it's there. All right, yeah.
Yeah. Um. Mm.
There you go. Yeah, how's that for you?
Yeah. Um. I mean, I know that thing is like a meme. I mean, to me, I personally don't care too much about this coin from what I've learned and from people who make good money in the cryptocurrencies. So that's just why I don't have anything in it. And in the time that it really mattered to have something in it, would have been down in like when it first began. Um, there's other coins that have a better uh, like cheaper than this, cheaper than 40 cents, um, that are under a penny, that are under 10 cents, that are better, and also uh, for a longer sustainable period of time with more projects and stuff. But I'm not really that adept in cryptocurrency, so I won't sit here and tell you that I am. I can look at price action, but right now this is not a smart buy just because of where the resistance is at that it's on. Just off of price action, but as far as like long term capability, what this can do, how it can be pumped up, that kind of stuff I don't know. And that's where like cryptocurrency, you need to have people who know, um, you know, that understand the long term effects of things. So I just talk to people that understand long term things and that are cheaper coins, that have more long term effect because I'm looking to make like millions off of it and not just like $1,000 here, $10,000 here, or those kind of things. I'm looking to really, really capitalize. But the Dogecoin thing, I think it's more hype, even off of social media. I think it's more that. But if it is, and you got money in it, and you got good stuff in it, ride that thing until the wheels fall off. That's all I would say. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't. For me, it's not my. It's like the same thing with like trades. If I tell you guys like I don't like a pair, it's because I don't like it. It doesn't mean it won't go your way or go against you, but it's just because I don't like it. It doesn't mean that it's like don't ever touch it or anything like that. But there's just I have too many other good investments in crypto to like have to jump on this, especially jumping on this right here off this level. That's the thing. Um, maybe off of a pullback, but I mean, who would have guessed it would have pulled back to 16 cents and went up? I couldn't personally guess that because there's no price action chart telling me anything. So it's just like it's not a smart investment. So I still go back to my principles of is that a smart investment? It doesn't change from crypto that it does to forex, that it does to commodities, that it does to indices. It doesn't change. It's is it still a smart investment? I specifically outlined XRP for everyone off of the pullbacks that it had here and saying like, oh, anytime this thing's pulling back to here, that's a smart investment. This thing didn't come all the way down and retest this, but I don't know if anyone remembers, but it's recorded. But I said this thing could come all the way back and retest this. It almost did. And for a break and retest structure, it was only a few cents off of breaking and retesting the structure to go back up. And then it made I think it made 100% gain if you bought it at 87, 80 some whatever cents, went all the way up to $1.66. So that's what I mean by like just looking at that. But this here is one that I know factual information should be way, 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 way higher. This alone and the amount that I have could be absolutely amazing just off of it right there. But that's just me going back to, is it a smart investment? And so that's how I always look at everything. It's just like when you go over to gold, and I'm looking like, oh, is this a smart investment? Well, at the level that it's at, and seeing gold for where it is, and knowing this, yeah, it's a smart investment because look where price is at right now. Price is at a selling zone. This is a smart investment for me. And so that's why I would execute and capitalize on that trade because it's at that level. So that's why. But no, I don't really pay too much attention to that. If it was, I'd probably see more. But yeah, even I'm looking at the group chat right now about the hype and stuff. That's pretty much what I see in all my crypto group chats and I pay attention to. It's it's more hype than it is a good investment at the end of the day. That's all. So that's what I pay attention to too.
Yeah, there's sure. Yeah, there's lots of hype, but at the same time, that hype means money flowing. When you say that the Doge looks like a bad buy, you're right. It does look like a bad buy, but I think there's still further potential for growth, despite the fact that it looks to be way too high.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, but like I said, to me, not a smart investment at that level. If it was like at that 16 cents mark, and you said that, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, that might be a good trade because the potential to profit is higher. So if it's at 16 cents and the high is at what 40 cents or whatever, then that means that if I risk a specific percent of my account at, let's say, 10% cap off or something, or 11 cents or something, I don't know, then that means that I have over 100% ROI chance for that coin to double. That's how I look at um that's how I look at that. So it's more like that, and that's in anything. It's like if you look at, people are like, gold is a great buy right now. Well, gold's at 1797, and people are saying gold's a great buy. Well, you got people buying in on gold right now. It could be a great buy because of the long-term value of gold, right? But as of right now, the immediate time is not a great buy on gold. It's a better sell than it is a better buy because the risk to reward probability is there. But there's strategies where you just buy, stop it, and if it does go up, you catch the move. Just like in Dodge, you can do the same thing. You can do the exact same thing. I just pulled it up on that. If the broker carries it, you can do the exact same thing. So that's how I say that. So yeah, and I'm just reading the chat. Yeah, I got XRP, I got XLM. I don't know what polymath is, or HBAR, or Algorand. But yeah, I got the first two. I'm just looking at what he's saying. So yeah, I got VeChain too. I also got Telcoin as well. I got XLM. I got Telcoin. I got VeChain. I got XRP. I got all those. Boy, I'm about to eat. I'm about to eat the world when we get off this. Anybody else have any anything? Are we good? Or is we good? Because if we good, I'm about to go devour some food and hit this workout. Nas 100. Oh yeah, you said that. Nasi 100. I haven't looked at this thing in so long. Ooh. This thing looks like it's about to fall off Earth. Boom. Gotta pay attention to this. This is gonna be a good zone. Yeah, that's gonna be a good zone right there. Solid through there. Yeah. And it's the daily buyers. You're gonna have this little support to deal with. Might be a great sell stop. This is an indices, so they trade off of the weirdest zones. So that's going to be another zone. It's already broken that. Yeah. And this is that. What's your zone on? That's Nas 100. That's a Nas 100 train right there, for sure. Off that level. I don't know exactly what you were looking for, but that's definitely the Nas 100 train of what I'm looking at. Everything, I don't know exactly what you were looking at, but that's that. Just looking at the resistance. You mean the support? I think. It ain't the same difference. I just had to make sure which one you was which one you was looking at, so I knew. But yeah, the support for sure. I can see it though. That'll probably be a good New York trade right there. That buy zone will probably be a good New York trade. Just because they respect support and resistances a lot. But heavy sellers are in this thing. Heavy sellers. I mean, that is a given. This is going to be a really solid zone to trade off of if it spikes back up to there. But this one's going to be interesting trade. I can tell you that right now, because heavy sellers are in this boy, big time. Especially with that M top right there, and this huge move that it had there, plus the daily has never went below this point really, and it's kind of closed right below that. That's going to be an interesting zone. I'm just saying that because I know Nas 100. I haven't traded it a crazy amount, but yeah, it looks nice. Anything else, ladies and gents? I'm about to pull this recording, get this thing posted. Good. Oh yeah. Well, if you never traded it, it may not be the move to just jump on there right now. It may not be the move, especially with the lot sizes. But all right, y'all. Well, you guys have a blessed night. Have a great night. We should be good for the webinar on Thursday. I'll let you guys know if anything changes. I got a bunch of stuff going on this week, but I'll let you guys know if anything changes. I think we're good for Thursday. with no problems. Anything happens, let me know. We'll keep an eye on gold and see what that lovely thing does. It's looking pretty decent. I don't know. I think Sebastian said he got in, and I know you're destroying it right now, which is great. But this could be a really nice payout, so I'm looking forward to see what it does, and hopefully this thing goes all the way down to 1765 at least. That's going to be a great little zone right there. But yeah, all right, y'all. Have a blessed one. Have a great one. Hit me up if you need me. I'll be here. And yes, sir, Devin GG's in the chat. All right, y'all. See you guys later.